Matt Johnson. Here at Rochester Asphalt and Concrete, we are a family-owned business with high expectations. We care about customer service and a quality project start to finish. We take the time to help you understand your project and answer any questions you may have.
We specialize in asphalt and concrete, from driveways to parking lots. Whether it's installation or maintenance, there is no job too big or small. Everyone deserves honesty and integrity, and that's why we are here, for you.
Well, of course, one of the many important issues that our legislators face has to do with our veterans. There have been a lot of things dealing with our veterans in the news, both good and bad. And Representative Peggy Bennett out of the Albert Lee area just had a meeting recently with some of our area veterans talking about what's available to them, laws that have passed that directly affect them that maybe you haven't heard about in the news or that they should be knowing about. How did that meeting go?
It went great. It was so fun to meet with the veterans from in our community, as well as to have Representative Detmer come down and visit with them and just kind of share with them the things that we've done the last couple years to really make their lives a little bit better and let them know that we care about them and we honor them, and it was a good experience.
Well, and I think let's start with the positive then, the good that is happening, because there are so many issues that have happened in the Veterans Affairs Department.
Right.
But with what is recently been passed only about a month ago was the tax relief for our veterans.
That's right.
Explain what that is, because they're not going to be taxed something that they had been.
Correct. And we are one of the few states left that still fully tax military pensions for our state income tax. And so what we did was, starting 2017, they will no longer have any state income tax on their military pensions, which means they get to keep that pension that they've earned, you know. And I think this is a good thing to let our current veterans know that live with us, know we respect them, we appreciate them, we honor them, and also that so we can be a welcoming state to new veterans coming into our state who maybe want to live here, start a business here, and so on.
What about health care for our veterans? Health care has been an issue a lot, especially through the department federal, for those who need care, who've been waiting for care, who weren't getting it. At the state level, what are we doing?
Well, that's always something that's in the radar, and I know in Albert Lee we have actually a new vet clinic that opened up, a branch of the one that's in St. Paul. You know, from what I understand, our veterans are feeling pretty good in the state, at least the ones I've talked to in my area, about the service that they get and the medical care that they get. So I haven't heard a lot of complaints about it, which I will give kudos to, you know, the physicians and the people who work with those veterans, because I think they're doing a good job, but there's always room for improvement too.
In the Albert Lee area, which is the area that you represent, I think something that is so important is access of location.
Correct.
So having that facility is a big deal for our veterans who are there.
So when they need their regular checkups or they have a quick question. Matter of fact, I had breakfast with some veterans this morning, and one of them had hurt his leg the night before, and he says, I'm going to run into the clinic and get it checked out. He didn't have to drive all the way up to St. Paul for that. So I think it's wonderful to have that right in Albert Lee for our area.
What about the small business benefits that our veterans may not know about? If you are a veteran or know somebody, this really is an incentive to get them to maybe go into their own business.
It is. You know, and a lot of veterans, they're not ready to retire fully when they're done with their years of service. So why not give them a hand up and help them get back into civilian life, help them start a business if they want to. And this would, you know, give them some extra incentive, a little extra help. Number one, to qualify as a veteran business, because from what I understand, right now, federally, when you qualify, it takes months to do that. We all know what red tape is like in the government.
Right.
And so we decided as a state we'd like to be able to qualify their business, and it should make it much easier, more streamlined. And then there's advantages to getting qualified. You have, you know, a little extra opportunity to maybe get a government contract, or at least get looked at more. So it gives them that hand up, I think, that they need and deserve to get back into regular life.
When you hear their concerns, what is the more common theme? What do you hear more often with veterans and the issues that they're facing that you could really take to the Capitol next session and say, you know what, this is what I'm hearing from my constituents?
You know, the veterans that I hear from, they say, we're not looking for handouts. you know, they don't want handouts, but they do want to be able to integrate back into society and have the things that regular people have available to them too, and that would be good health care, that kind of thing. I probably hear, you know what they say thank you for the most? Just thank you for appreciating us and for saying that.
I think we went far too long without it,
We
because before Desert Storm in the 90s and then everything that has happened since, and with the war on terror and everything that our country is facing, I don't think that our veterans did get the appreciation. I think they got lost, and they are feeling more appreciated, more that our lawmakers are doing more for them.
Yeah, and I just think that's good for them to know, because you know what, they are doing a service to all of us, not only protecting us and really putting their lives on the line, but even their whole family life is basically disrupted. I know that because now my niece and her husband, who's in the Navy, are a military family, and I can see it's difficult. You know, when they're overseas, then you've got your family at home who has to try to kind of make it on their own.
Right. And when before we started our interview, I had asked if you had anybody in your family, because it really takes on a different level of being personal once you know somebody or you have a family member who is in the military. So
no, that's so true. You know, and they've got a little 2-year-old boy who now doesn't have his dad around for 6 months. But it's something I think all of our military personnel and our veterans who are now done with that, they were willing to do that and willing to sacrifice. So I think it's our turn to honor them and appreciate them, and you know, give them some little benefits here and there that would be a nice thing. Like what I'd like to see in the future is do something, say, for fishing licenses or hunting licenses. You know, give them one without having to pay. I just think they deserve those little extra perks because of what they've done for us, and we want to show our appreciation.
Well, there is a lot that has happened at the state level for our veterans, and you were able to let me know as well about some of the legislative accomplishments. We can't go through all of them now. I wish we could. So what I'll do is I'll put an attachment to this interview online so that if anybody wants to see it, and if you're in the Albert Lee area and you're not sure who to contact, Peggy Bennett would be somebody
I'll be glad to listen.
One of your representatives who will take the issues to St. Paul. And we do hope that lots gets done in St. Paul.
Well, thank you. Yes, and I hope that too.
I know. I appreciate your time.
Hello, I'm Royal John.